Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Stephen A. Smith, Cowboys choke job worse than Eagles loss. Stephen A. Smith seems to enjoy very little more than antagonizing fans of the Dallas Cowboys, and the Cowboys gave Smith plenty of ammunition this weekend when they fell in the wild card round 48-32 to the Green Bay Packers. In an appearance on First Take with Shannon Sharpe, Smith had fellow ESPN star Pat McAfee on as a guest. McAfee and Smith debated whether the Cowboys or Eagles had a more disappointing end to their season after the Eagles suffered a 32-9 loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday Night Football. McAfee made the case for the Eagles, calling their collapse colossal and citing their 10-1 start to the season, which quickly fizzled as they went 1-6, including their wild card round loss, the rest of the way. You think about a team that was in a position to host playoff games, have the number 1 seed in the NFC, and continue to build a potential dynasty for Philadelphia Eagles fans that have been yearning for this kind of success forever, and then it just goes right down the dumper, McAfee said. 1-6 down the stretch, you're talking about playing the absolute worst football when you're supposed to be playing the best football. Smith praised McAfee's soliloquy about the Eagles as eloquent, well-delivered and totally wrong. He noted that while the Eagles' collapse was embarrassing, it was one we saw coming. The bigger disappointment was the choke job that the Dallas Cowboys put out there last week, Smith said. The Packers dominated the Cowboys offensively. Quarterback Jordan Love finished 16-for-21 with 272 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions, while wide receiver Romeo Doubs collected 6 receptions for 151 yards and a touchdown. Aaron Jones also rushed 21 times for 118 yards. Dak Prescott threw for 403 yards and 3 touchdowns, but he was 41-for-60 with 2 interceptions. The Packers held a 41-16 lead entering the fourth quarter. You're talking about palms getting sweaty. Backsides getting tight. That's what we saw in Dallas, Smith said. It wasn't a precipitous collapse, but one we saw coming for weeks and weeks over a 7-week period. No. They were a 12-win team. They won the division crown. They were sticking out their chests. They were making plans for San Francisco or Santa Clara or wherever the hell they play for the NFC Championship game. And then they got out on the field, and the minute Green Bay marched 12 plays and 75 yards, all of a sudden you saw panic. Earlier this year, in a conversation with Kevin Clark of The Ringer, Smith admitted that he doesn't like the Cowboys, although he said the players weren't the problem. It has nothing to do with the Cowboys, Smith told Clark. It has everything to do with their disgusting, nauseating fan base, which I can't stand. That's who they are. For me, I have nothing against any player on the Dallas Cowboys. I actually wish them nothing but the best. It's their damn fans that get on my nerves. Their fans are so nauseating to me, they are just so annoying that nothing pleases me more than to watch a Cowboy fan miserable. Cowboys rookies go out with a whimper. The Dallas Cowboys season came to a crashing end on Sunday. The team's rookies had little impact either way in the final result. Only Brandon Aubrey and Luke Schoonmaker tallied on the official box score. Aubrey totaled just 4 points, missing an extra point attempt late in the third quarter, while Schoonmaker caught a pass late in the game. It was a somewhat fitting end for an otherwise lackluster effort from the entire rookie class in 2023. Aside from Aubrey's solid kicking throughout the year, the rookie class had few highlights. It remains to be seen how many will be on the roster in September. Smith saw just 4 snaps on defense, the lowest among the 5 defensive tackles on the roster. He did not see any action on special teams either. It was a disappointing end to a disappointing season for the team's first-round pick back in April. If there is a change in the defensive coordinator in Dallas, Smith's weight loss before the season could be reversed. He was too easily moved by offensive linemen in 2023. Schoonmaker caught the only pass thrown in his direction in Sunday's season-ending loss. His 7-yard reception was the last pass Dak Prescott completed. Depending on how the offseason plays out, given many calls for Prescott to be traded since the loss, It would be ironic if this was Prescott's last completion as a Cowboy. Schoonmaker had 19 snaps on offense and another 14 on special teams. 8 catches for 65 yards and 2 touchdowns is far below expectations for a second-round pick. How he gets used going forward remains to be seen. Overshown continues to rehab from a preseason knee injury suffered in Seattle. He looks to be on track to be ready to go for training camp this summer. If Overshown can fully recover, he will be a much-needed addition to the defense in 2024. Fehoko was inactive once again. He did not see any action in any game this year. With no game action to judge by, it will be interesting to see if he makes the roster in 2024. Belichick wants to be hired by underachieving team. Is that Dallas? At this point in the NFL coaching carousel, we know that the Atlanta Falcons are serious in their pursuit of a legendary coach. After 24 years as the boss of the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick has already interviewed in Atlanta, as has Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh, and he's already met with the Chargers. There are rumors connecting Belichick and the Dallas Cowboys and Belichick and the Philadelphia Eagles, but so far just smoke without fire. And now comes a doozy, if you evaluate it beyond its surface level. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, Belichick is currently looking for a team that is talented, yet underachieving. We will put aside any skepticism for a moment, who told him that, and plow forward. Talented, yet underachieving? Well, that's Dallas, right? The Cowboys under present coach Mike McCarthy have a star-studded roster, 9 All-Pros. And go 12-5 every year, before annually fizzling out in the playoffs. Talented, yet underachieving? Well, that's Philly, right? The Eagles under present coach Nick Sirianni have a Super Bowl roster. They almost won it just 12 months ago. And started 10-1 this season, before collapsing at the end of the season and in the playoffs. But no. Fowler reports that it is the Falcons who fit that description. I was told from the beginning that Belichick would likely target talented, yet underachieving teams. Atlanta probably falls in that category, Fowler said on SportsCenter. Is Atlanta talented? Did the Falcons, once again falling short of the postseason with rotating mediocrity at QB, truly underachieve? If we believe Fowler's information in the first place, that he knows what Belichick is targeting, and we are dubious, then we still have to question the second level of his information. Since when are the Falcons more talented and underachieving than the Cowboys and the Eagles? And you fan, what do you think of the Bill Belichick situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.